Hello dreamers, welcome back to my channel Camera Transitions, a new topic that is really essential to know to create cartoon films that are really interesting and impactful. But what are camera transitions? They are those moments between one scene and another that serve to connect each shot in a fluid way, giving continuity to the sequence that follow one another on the screen. There are many ways to create transitions, probably infinite, because you can use camera movements such as zooming in and zooming out, or right to left transitions, rotations, or using the elements themselves that make up the scene. As in this case, where the clouds become protagonists, changing the scene from one perspective to another in a very dynamic way. In today's tutorial we will see some of these transitions that I used in this project, and we will do an exercise that will help you better understand what we are talking about. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it on my channel. Go and see it. What are you waiting for? New episodes will be coming soon that will continue the story that I can't wait to show you, and above all with the new planets to explore. I remind you to watch the video until the end if you are interested in the topic. Like, comment, activate the bell, help the algorithm to make me grow. Thank you. Let's quickly see the transitions I added in my short, and then let's do an exercise in a new project. The short is divided into main scenes, which are 6 in total, contained in large groups, where there are further sequences. For example, if I go to scene 6, there are different sequences inside it, such as the robot's flight towards the can until the end of the sequence. In this scene, therefore, all the transitions that occur between one scene and another are created by exploiting the elements of the scenario and the protagonist. The can falls into the abyss, the robot flying in the foreground almost seems to want to accompany us in the ravine together with him. A transition from top to bottom to take the viewer into the depth of the earth. Another scene change happens. It starts with a camera shake as if there was an earthquake and quickly a transition upwards, showing rocks falling. The rocks falling down bring us to this perspective where the stunned robot tries to escape. In my projects I always try to use the elements of the scene to create the transitions. I think it's more natural, and above all it gives the viewer the chance to better understand what's happening, avoiding distractions from fake camera transitions. But sometimes to shorten the final cut you will have to make compromises by adding transitions, as I tried it here. Inserting it with the right timing, the result is still interesting. The important thing is not to create too much confusion to maintain continuity between the scenes. If instead the scene changes completely, but I don't want to add the fake camera transitions, but I want everything to happen in a natural way, I still use the elements of the scene. In this case, the spaceship re-entering the atmosphere helps me understand what is happening by giving me the natural continuation of the story. Between scene 1 and scene 2 the background changes completely, but with the directorial stratagem the scene has continuity, because the viewer is following the journey of the capsule, on which he is focused. Scene 2 is made up of 3 sequences in total. The capsule approaches the Earth, and with a transition that occurs with a parallax effect of the clouds, there is a passage where the altitude drops further. The spaceship flies among the clouds and then approaches the camera. This is what happens in another transition. First the capsule approaches the camera, then it moves away and the background changes. Finally, the clouds are the protagonist again, before opening the gates onto the panorama. Between scene 2 and 3, the transition occurs naturally without the need for artificial transitions, because there is still a normal continuation of the story, with the capsule first framed from the bottom upwards and then descending to the ground. Scene 4 continues with the robot making its debut. Everything happens in a single sequence shot. In this case too, the transitions are created through the elements on the screen, such as the mountains in the background and the terrain. From scene 4 to 5 I added a camera transition, which is composed of the HSB filters that reveal the background, use of lens blur. A zoom out also occurs to give the viewer a wider vision, as if the landscape were opening up before our eyes. As you can see, there are many ways to use camera transitions. My favorites, as you may have understood, are those that exploit the elements of the scenario, even if sometimes you will still need to use something artificial. Now let's see an exercise together. It will be a bit of a mix of both things, because as I told you at the beginning, there are infinite ways to use transitions. The only limit, as always, is our imagination. To create a transition we need at least 2 scenes, but first we will quickly create a main scene for the exercise. This red box will help you understand the limits of the scene, especially in the drawing phase, because we should also add some camera movements. This helps you stay focused on what is happening. The scene I want to represent is very classic, with a bouncing ball. As a first step I draw the ground. I also draw outside the screen. If I have to add camera movements at least, I won't have framing problems, so the background won't be cut off of the edges. As always, my background are amazing. What do you think? Now I fill the track. Okay. On a new track I draw the bounce curves that the ball will have to follow in order to give me a guide on where I will have to draw the ball frame by frame. Ball, 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 ball. Okay, this is the dynamic. Now I'm going to draw, guess what? Ball. Now let's move on to frame by frame animation. I start the animation of the ball from 1 second. The first part will be used to add a camera movement. Let's take away some opacity from these parts first to better focus on the animation. Okay. I will make a very simple bounce animation, but obviously I will try to be careful to make the most of the 12 principles of animation by creating a realistic movement where the physics has the correct dynamics. Let me know in the comments if anyone is interested in learning the basics of animation. In the future there will be specific courses on everything important you need to know to start animating the right way. Okay, at this point the ball will have stopped, so I can feel the track. Best animation. To create our scene now I'm going to group all the elements, both the background and the ball. Now I rename the group Scene 1 and mark it with a green color. OK. I had a keyframe here at 1 second with a Move and Scale tool. I want to add a camera movement. I want the shot to change and go looking for the ball. A little farther on I add another keyframe because the shot will have to quickly return to this point. At 1 second I move the scene to the ball. We have thus created a camera movement that brings the viewer's eyes to focus on the bouncing object. Once I get here, I want to add a camera transition. I duplicate the whole group first if I need the original. The goal for creating the transition will be to split this scene to create two. The first one with the bouncing ball, the second one will put the stationary object in the foreground with a zoom transition in. I first add a keyframe here where the ball is now still, another one here farther ahead. At this point I want the ball in the foreground, so I'm going to enlarge the scene. Like this, ok. This is already a transition, but I want to make it more dynamic, as if I had two separate scenes. After this keyframe, I divide the two groups and rename the second one. Here we'll add another transition. The goal is to create a zoom-in transition where the ball will be completely in the foreground, and to do that I'll add another keyframe here. I'll put one at the beginning too. Let's change color, ok. At this point I'm going to zoom in again. I want a nice close-up here. Obviously, if I leave the scene in this way, I don't have the impression of having divided it into two distinct ones. To do this, I'll try to cut the scene here, and I'm moving it here. I want a faster transition, I cut a little more. A little bit, ok. With a single scene, I added a transition to create two distinct ones. The first one follows the bounce of the ball, the second one puts the focus on the object. Camera transitions are really very important within an animated project or a movie. When I have to connect different scenes, it will help me to know as many as possible and above all to experiment with new ones. As you may have understood, my favorites are the transitions that can be created with the elements of the screen. They are the most natural and allow you to have a greater perception of what is happening within a video. If you intend to make your movie in a single sequence shot, then I recommend you take a look at this other tutorial of mine. I invite you as always to observe and experiment with everything that interests you. Maybe at first you won't create masterpieces, but Rome wasn't built in a day after all.